הסבא שלי.
בכבוד.
אפשר? Chodesh Tov, everyone. I'd like to begin with a short story. A story about a young Jewish man who, for the first time in his life, started reading the story of Yetziat Mitzrayim. He starts off in Parashat Shmot with the slavery and Moshe in the bush, and he reads through the blood and the frogs and the lice and this week's Parsha, and he comes to next week's Parsha, and he's reading, and out of nowhere, he can't hold it in anymore, and he says out loud, "Wow, this is magnificent, what a miracle!" And the guy sitting across the table didn't like biblical stories. And he said, "What was the miracle?" So the Jewish man tells him, the entire Jewish nation crossed right through Yam Suf. So the man told him, "It's no miracle. Don't you know any history? We have historical proof that at the time, the Yam Suf was only 10 centimeters high. So there was no problem to walk right through it." Okay, so this Jewish man is disappointed. He keeps reading, and a minute later he says, "Magnificent! What a miracle!" And he says, what this time? He says, apparently 10 centimeters were enough to drown the entire Egyptian army. So no matter how you look at these parashot, you see many, many miracles. From the moment we read the beginning of Perek Dalet, the fourth Perek, Moshe says, "Vehem lo ya'aminu li." They're not going to believe me. And God tells him, "Throw your staff down." And it turns into a snake. You have another miracle and another miracle. His hand turns into white. Water turns into blood. You have hail with water and fire and crossing through the sea. Everything is miracles. But imagine what goes through one of the Jewish people in Egypt. What goes through his head? When Moshe gathers everyone together and he tells them, "This is what we need to do. You need to take a lamb, slaughter it, take the blood, and put it on a doorpost, both sides and on top." And the Jewish man thinks to himself, "We had so many miracles. Probably we will have many more miracles to come. Why do we need to do this strange-looking thing of putting blood all over the doorpost? I don't understand why God needs it. But if for whatever reason we need blood to be on the doorpost, can't God make a miracle so we'll have blood on the doorpost so we'll know not to come into this house?" In other words, God could turn the entire Egyptian Nile into blood, but He can't turn my doorpost into a blood color? But the answer is very simple. The result of blood being all over the doorpost isn't what's wanted. It's not the result. It's the action. The fact that God tells Moshe, and Moshe tells the people, put the blood on the door. Do the action. That is what is necessary over here. This is a message which I think doesn't only belong to the Jewish people in Egypt many years ago, but to all of us today. Often we want God to do things, or God promises He will do things. Often it depends on our small actions, what we do. I'll give you two examples. One is tshuva. Let's say a person does a terrible sin, and he feels he can't do tshuva, it's too big. So the Medrash says, "Pitchu li petach kichodo shel marat." Open an opening the size of a needle point. I will open you doors of a grand hall. There are different nuschaot on this medrash, but bottom line, we're talking about big doors. And also over here, you can look at, it's too big, it's too big on me. But if we do our small thing, God will take care of the rest. I'll give you another example. It says, "Kol mezanotav shel adam ktsuvino merosh hashana ad rosh hashana." When a person enters Rosh Hashanah, all the amount of money he will be making over the next year is decided. Does this mean a man can sit home and do nothing all year? Will the money come in anyway? The answer is no. He must do his ishtadut. We have to do what is up to us, and God will do what is up to Him. The Gemara in Brachot says that there were many miracles when we left Egypt, but they will be nothing compared to the miracles that will be in Biat HaMashiach. We don't know when that is going to be, the Biat HaMashiach. But we do know that it is up to us to bring the Mashiach. The more Torah mitzvot that we will do, the closer it will be when He will come. In Egypt, it was clear what we had to do. We had to put blood on the doorpost. And nowadays, we don't have a single action, but a klali action to be Oved Hashem the best way we can. So I'd like to make a suggestion that in this coming Shabbat, when we read about the blood that the Jewish people had to put on the doorpost. And every year to come, every time we will read about the blood being put on the doorpost, we will remember that it is up to us to do the actions that will bring the Geulah. Amen.